Hey guys, it's Tim. Whoa, that's way high. It wasn't like that a second ago. Also, I left that light on in the hallway. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we are here to talk about everything that went down this morning, this afternoon, tonight, depending on where you are, at WWE Clash at the Castle. Before you even get started, I do want to say thank you to Dan the Man for the Twitch bit donation. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the Twitch bits. But Clash at the Castle. Overall, I liked the entire show. I liked every single match. The only match that there's two things that kind of pulled me out of it for a moment. When there was the botch in the the Seth Riddle match. And then I just couldn't suspend my disbelief enough to believe that Liv Morgan was actually, as easily as she was, getting these submissions on Shayna Baszler. Like, and holding them for as long as she was. Those are the things that were like, I can't suspend my disbelief so much for that. Then when Seth and Riddle fell off the ropes, and they had to like redo the spot I was like, oh no. But then they got me back like 2 minutes later. But other than that, I thought everything else was fantastic, except for whatever and I get you're going to come at me and say, well, you never see a Tyson Fury fight. I get that's what Tyson Fury does after his fights. He gets in the ring, or he stays in the ring, and he sings and he whatever to the crowd. I get that. But that's because he wins and he's celebrating. So for them to do that with Drew after he just got his ass beat, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. You could have cut things. Drew even said it. I don't even know if we're still on the air yet, but whatever. Oh, care, sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. And I'm like, why are you all happy-go-lucky singing ha 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 yeah yeah yeah? You just lost, bro. And now what's next? See, if they would have done a spot where Drew's singing, he turns around and poof, Fury pops him, then I would have been like, okay, I get all this now. Fury's going in there trying to cheer Drew up only to attack him, but they didn't do that. They literally went to the press conference together later, all buddy, happy-go-lucky. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they needed to do that, at least on the feed, on the broadcast. And I know people are going to come at me. I already got it on Twitter. That's what Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury does that after his fights. I get that. When he's celebrating because he won. You don't do it after you lose. You don't see someone get knocked out in the UFC and then afterwards they're in the ring going, yeah, all right, woo, hey. No, they're head down. Oh, fuck. Hopefully they don't come and interview me. Hopefully, crap, Cormier, what do you want? So, that's one thing I really didn't like was the whole Drew Fury stuff afterwards, because it kind of just, it didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't do anything for me, to be honest. I get it. Maybe it was just for the live crowd, but then keep it just for the live crowd. We didn't need to see that. We didn't need to see that at all. But regardless, I thought the show itself was really, 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 really good. And the main event felt bigger than anything we'd seen all year, whether that was SummerSlam, whether that was WrestleMania. You know, going into that main event, I'm like, whoa. I feel a bigger presence for this match than either of the Roman Brock matches we had this year, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. So that was a positive, and I felt it throughout. The match was amazing. But with that, I want to say thank you if you are watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, or if you're watching or listening later, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. If you are watching live on Twitch, then you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or being like Dan the Man and donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Remember, it could be anybody's Amazon Prime account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, anybody's Amazon Prime account. You take that Amazon Prime account, take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, your Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things, like a lot of cool things. And hold on, the Twitch poll never posted for some reason. I literally did it 30 minutes ago and it never posted. Do it really fast. What did you think of Clash at the Castle? The reason there's no Twitter poll, we talked about our Twitch poll, talked about this last night. Not enough people in live chat yet. People need to listen. People need to listen. Anyways, as far as, you know, helping us out on Twitch, you could do that. You can become a Prime Gaming member by linking your Twitch and your Amazon account. And then you get a lot of cool things like free games, including Assassin's Creed Origin for the month of September, including Shadow of Mordor for the month of September, Football Manager 2022 for the month of September. All great games. But you also get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember that you can help us out over on YouTube by hitting that join button to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access podcast episodes, early access non-news videos, and so much more. Also, remember to get all of that and more directly support us, head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something, whether that is a new game, whether that is an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or even Rumbleverse. All of those games have the Epic Store integration, except for Fall Guys doesn't have it in their app yet, but use code PW Unlimited at checkout for all Epic Store and Epic Games purchases, whether that is on your computer or in the launchers for Fortnite, Rocket League, and Rumbleverse on your PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. Again, code PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But with that, it's time to talk about this dang pay-per-view that kicked off with the pre-show match. Yes, WWE hasn't done a pre-show match in a while, but we had one tonight. This match was 6.5 minutes. It was Madcap Moss and the Street Profits against Austin Theory, and the Alpha Academy. And it said it on the screen. Austin Theory. It said it in the graphic for the match, like that they used to announce the match. And his lower third said Austin Theory as well. This match itself was just a basic pre-show match. Not much really happened in the match, though. Moss got a good reaction during his entrance, which is good to see. And, of course, Street Profits as well. Angelo Dawkins and Chad Gable started things off the hot sequence. Ford caught Gable with a standing dropkick to take over. Austin Theory then made the blind tag and took out Ford's knee with a chop block. The fans broke into a loud "You suck" chant directed to Theory. The heels isolated Ford on their side of the ring at one point, and Ford fought back before Moss ended up getting the hot tag. Fans really liked Riddick Moss. Every time he was in there, they went wild. Dawkins eventually tagged in at one point and hit a twisting splash on Theory. Gable hit a rolling German suplex on Moss for a close near fall later on. Otis avoided Moss and caught him with a shoulder tackle. In an awesome looking spot, Otis went for a flying crossbody, and Madcap Moss caught him and hit him with a fallaway slam. Oh my God, not only did the fans pop in the arena or the stadium, I popped sitting here on my desk. I go, whoa! Hell yeah. What kind of strength does that man have? The finish was really nice too. Everyone was on the floor except for Ford and Gable. Gable tried to give Ford a German suplex off the apron to the floor, but Ford held onto the ropes. Dawkins then pulled Gable off the apron and placed him on his shoulders in a crazy spot. Ford hit a dive over the top rope into a blockbuster on Gable, off Dawkins' shoulders, onto Moss, Otis, and Theory at ringside. Ford then threw him back in the ring, hit the frog splash, and pinned him to pick up the victory. Baby faces do get the win. They then showed Roman Reigns showing up in a big old van, black van, to end the pre-show. They're doing the pre-show, and this bus pulls up, or not bus, but van pulls up, and Rosenberg's like, quiet, 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 quiet. We're about to witness greatness here. It's Roman Reigns. And they're like, well, that's going to do it for the kickoff show here. We'll now send you to Clash at the Castle. As far as the main show does go, we do now know their name is Damage Control. Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. They are now going by the name Damage Control. They took on Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. They also got new music as far as Damage Control does go. The big story here was Damage Control is a unit, a group. They work together well. The other three, well, they're just three individuals with common enemies. They kept making, the reference of Damage Control came out together. They came out all three at once. The other team, they all got their individual entrances. The other team, they still wanted their own, I guess you could say, shine, their own moment. So everyone's in the ring. The match is about to start in here. Hey, Bayley, I want to know if you'll be my girl. And they just keep going and going. Hey, Bayley, I want to know if you'll be my girl. And Bayley's like, stop it. No. No. She's like going crazy. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. No. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Thank you to the 62 plus there. Whoever started that, kudos. Because that just kicked off the environment of how this crowd's going to be and the wrestlers working off the crowd. Like, that was fantastic. And they kept singing throughout most of this match, even though Bayley was the heel. The babyfaces did have the early advantage and gave the heels a triple suplex. Belair then hit a handspring moonsault for a near fall. Asuka and Sky squared off. Sky avoided a kick and rolled up Asuka for a near fall. Damage Control then took over and isolated Asuka on their side of the ring. The fans broke out into a brief Bayley chant. Bayley tagged in and got a huge pop from the crowd. Now, I mean huge, like everybody. Yeah, Bayley! She then acted annoyed, tagged right back out instantly, and they booed. This crowd in Cardiff really wanted to see Bayley. The Bliss caught Bayley a little bit later with a cannonball off the apron. Kai then took advantage and blindsided Bliss with a shotgun dropkick. The heels cut Bliss off from her corner, and Bliss fought back eventually and caught Sky with a sunset flip, but Kai made the blind tag. Kai then rocked Bliss with a running kick in the corner. Bliss recovered and went for the tag, but Bayley pulled Belair off the apron. Asuka did get the hot tag and ran wild. She rocked Sky with a knee, a spinning back fist, and a German suplex before a sliding clothesline for a near fall. Bayley then finally tagged in, and the fans popped huge. She hit a spine buster and a standing, Belair, not Bayley, Belair tagged in, and the fans popped huge. She hit a spine buster and a standing moonsault on Bayley for a 2 count. Belair and Bayley then fought on the top rope, where Belair avoided Kai and threw her out of the ring. Somehow, Belair hit the middle turnbuckle. Bayley then tied her hair up, but Asuka and Bliss gave Bayley a double superplex off Belair's back. Sky at one point hit an Asai moonsault on the babyfaces at ringside. In the ring, Belair was firmly in control. She hit a KOD on Kai, went for a KOD on Kai, but Kai escaped. The finish then came when Bayley tied up Belair in the corner with her hair. Kai then hit the running boot in the corner. Bayley followed this up with the rose plant, and Sky hit a moonsault before Bayley pinned the champion. What'd I tell you guys? Bayley is gonna pin the champion. And what happened? Bayley pinned the champion, which now leads me to believe that this is going to lead to a title shot. Bayley getting the next woman's title shot against Bianca Belair, just like I predicted. So, going forward, Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton all made a big deal out of Bayley pinning the champ. They then showed Drew McIntyre backstage earlier today. Tyson Fury showed up to greet McIntyre. When they showed Fury on the screen, he got a big pop. Then they showed highlights from SummerSlam 92 of the British Bulldog defeating Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. Cole called it the greatest match in SummerSlam history. And it probably is. In the arena, they then announced that the British Bulldogs family was there and Bret Hart. We then got a barn burner, as some may say. It was the Intercontinental title on the line. The champion, Gunther, against Sheamus. We got a great surprise that was kind of spoiled earlier in the day, as Ludwig Kaiser was there, but he wasn't there alone. He was there with Giovanni Vinci, the former Fabian Eichner. Yes, Imperium is back at full strength and now all on the main roster. It is Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci, all on the main roster, and they called them Imperium. So Kaiser's doing his entrance, and he's like, the leader of Imperium. And I'm like, please say Walter, please say Walter, please say Walter, please say Walter, please say Gunther. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, come on. And then Corey Graves goes, that's Giovanni Vinci, Cole. I'm like, shit. Yep, they're not changing their names. Which now leaves me to believe Butch ain't getting a name change back either. Maybe, but come on, Pete Dunne. But this match, great. Imperium and the Brawling Brutes brawled before the match started, all around ringside, even in the ring. And they did the thing from SmackDown where Gunther and Sheamus are just standing there staring at each other. Everybody else was fighting around them. I was like, we've already seen this once. It's kind of cute. We don't need it again. So Butch at one point hit a moonsault on Imperium on the outside, and then they fought to the back. The fans popped when Sheamus and Gunther started trading shots right as the bell rang. Sheamus did give himself the early advantage, and the fans broke out into a loud, "Let's go, Sheamus! Let's go, Sheamus!" chant. Sheamus and Gunther traded hard shots in the corner at one point before Sheamus knocked Gunther down and pulled himself up to the top rope. Gunther jumped to his feet and chopped Sheamus off to the floor. Gunther then gave Sheamus a slam on the steel steps. Fans then broke out into a Walter chant. Walter! Walter! Gunther then rocked Sheamus with a hard chop and a kick to the face. He backed Sheamus against the ropes and destroyed Sheamus with vicious chops. Sheamus has got that same kind of skin as Bryan Danielson, where you chop him enough, it shows. He's got that skin where it's like, you beat it enough, and you're going to see the repercussions of it. Sheamus tried getting up, but Gunther rocked him with a boot to the face. Fans broke out into another "Let's go Sheamus" chant. Gunther locked on a Boston Crab and transitioned it into a crossface. Gunther then rocked Sheamus with a brutal chop to the back. He was beating the crap out of Sheamus. Sheamus and Gunther traded some brutal shots at one point before Gunther held onto Sheamus' arm and hit him with a series of vicious chops. The fans broke out into another "Let's go Sheamus" chant, trying to rally Sheamus. Sheamus eventually blocked the last chop and fought back. Gunther recovered and slammed Sheamus onto the floor. He then tossed Sheamus over the announce desk, and Sheamus fired up and hit the 10 beats of the Bowdrin on the desk, the ropes, and the barricade. Sheamus then hit a diving knee. Gunther and Sheamus traded hard shots again, this time back in the ring. Gunther hit a German suplex, but Sheamus got back to his feet. Sheamus then rocked Gunther with a knee for a 2. The fans broke into a "This is awesome" chant. Gunther got Sheamus into a sleeper hold. He went for a pile driver, but Sheamus countered with a white noise for a near fall. Sheamus then set up for a bro kick, but, Gunther avoided it. He followed this up with a power bomb and got a 2 off of it. Gunther then targeted Sheamus' back. Gunther climbed the ropes, but Sheamus kicked him off. They traded hard chops and slaps. Sheamus then regained control and hit the Celtic Cross for a very close near fall. The fans thought that this was the finish. Sheamus went for the bro kick again. His back gave out in the middle. Gunther then hit a power bomb and destroyed Sheamus with a hard short arm lariat, basically like his version of the clothesline from hell, and pinned Sheamus to pick up the victory. After the match, Imperium celebrated with Gunther, and then they left. Sheamus was still in the ring. Fans gave him standing ovation. They cheered for him. They chanted for him. They clapped for him. And Sheamus At a very special moment. I briefly believe I heard that, Josh. Yes, someone said the word Walter. Might have been Corey Graves, but I wasn't 100% sure. So they showed a Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan video package. They also showed UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards sitting at ringside. Got a good pop. So we had an 11-minute match. Liv Morgan defending the title, SmackDown Women's title, that is, against Shayna Baszler. And here's my big thing. We're still seeing the, aw shucks, I'm glad to be here, Liv Morgan. No. We don't need that Liv anymore. She's the champ. She's now beaten both Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I don't need the, oh my God, I'm emotional, I'm just happy to be here, Liv Morgan. I need the, I'm the champ, I'm very confident in myself, and I'm going to beat everybody's ass now, Liv Morgan. The, no one can stop me, Liv Morgan. Not the, does she really have it? Or is she just, grateful to be here, Liv Morgan? Because again, that Liv Morgan pulled me out of this match a couple of times, and I'm like, I can't really believe Liv Morgan getting these submissions on Shayna as easily as she did. But regardless, the match overall was good. So they did the special ring introductions. The crowd was still hot, even after the Sheamus Gunther match. Erupted in boos for Shayna Baszler. Big cheers for Liv Morgan. Cole then noted that Morgan had trained with Matt Riddle before this match. They traded submission moves for the first. I don't know why I'm yawning. Traded submission moves for the first few minutes of this match. Morgan took over and tried to stand on the top rope. Baszler pushed her off and caught her arm in the ropes as she fell. Baszler slowed the pace down and destroyed Morgan's arm. Morgan tried to fight back, but Baszler caught her with a back suplex. Baszler then slowed the pace down. Morgan did break free and hit a middle rope drop kick. Morgan jumped to her feet and fired up. She caught Baszler with a knee off the middle ropes and got a 2 off of it. Baszler did eventually regain control. He's stomping at the arm of Liv Morgan. Morgan then locked on a triangle choke and an armbar. Baszler then escaped and rocked Morgan with a knee for a 2. Morgan recovered and hit a running powerbomb for a 2. Baszler kicked out into the Careful clutch. Baszler couldn't keep the hold because of the injured arm, though. The finish then came when Morgan hit a code breaker and an oblivion to pick up the victory, and they actually called it the code breaker. They've been calling it the rip coil. They don't want to call it the code breaker because of Jericho, but they called it the code breaker today. After the match, Liv got a big reaction from the crowd as she celebrated with her title. Josh says they need to do Seth versus Gunther. Well, they're not on the same show, bud. Can't do Seth versus Gunther until they're on the same show. Maybe after the draft, but who even knows? So they showed Adrian Street and Miss Linda on the crowd. They then had a Judgment Day versus Edge and Ray video package for the next match that went 12 minutes and 30 seconds-ish. So Edge and Ray with Dominic took on Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest with Rhea Ripley. I thought this match was really, really good and had a very interesting post-match as well. Fans loved this match. The big story was the angle after the match, but we'll get to that when we get to that. On commentary, Cole had noted that Dominic has been jealous of Edge ever since Ray picked him, but he did agree with his father to be here and help them if they needed it. Also, yes, Edge wore some sort of a mask. Cool. So Balor and Mysterio started off the match with a lot of fast-paced back-and-forth action. Balor tagged in Priest, and he demanded Edge get in the ring, and the fans popped. Priest was briefly in control, and he whipped Edge into the corner, but Mysterio protected him. The heels tried to do the same spot, but Edge kicked Balor. Edge then gave Mysterio a reverse powerbomb onto the heels at ringside. Fans broke into a Mysterio chant. The heels then took over and isolated Mysterio in their corner. Balor then slowed down the pace with the chinlock. Mysterio fought back and sent Balor over the barricade. Mysterio jumped on the barricade, but Priest cut him off. Mysterio then crotched Priest on the barricade, which Priest sold big. It was weird. So Priest gets crotched, and they put the camera right in his face, and he's going, oh, like, okay then. I get it. Your balls hurt. But that was a weird reaction. Judge gets the hot tag and runs wild. He set up for the spear, but Priest caused a distraction. Mysterio took out Priest with the senton off the apron. In the ring, Edge hit the 619 on Finn Balor. Yes, Edge hit a 619. And Corey Graves goes, well, he didn't get all of that, so maybe we'll call it the 519. Wasn't pretty, but he got it. He got it. Mysterio then hit a big splash on Balor, and they got a near fall. Edge then speared Priest off the apron to the floor. Balor then set it for the coup de grace on Edge, but Dominic caused a distraction. Mysterio then gave Balor a Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Ripley then took out Dominic at ringside. She picked him up for a slam, but Mysterio then took them out with a dive. Mysterio then set it for the 619, but Balor hit a clothesline instead. The finish of the match then came when Dominic grabbed Balor's leg, which allowed Ray to hit the 619. Edge then speared Balor and picked up the victory. Commentary, they really pushed hard how Dominic played an important, integral part in the victory here tonight. So after the match, all the baby faces are in the ring celebrating, and Dominic's looking at his dad. He's like, yeah, you did it. Good job. And he looks over at Edge, and then, wow, kicks Edge in the pecker, right in the gonads. And so Edge does this great thing where he gets hit in the balls, and he looks straight up at Dominic, and then he like falls down to his knees, but his head never looks off of Dominic, and he falls, and he's got just eyes wide looking straight at Dominic. It is great. He's like, what was that? What was that? Why'd you do that? Huh? Boom. And he clotheslines Ray. Takes out Ray. For some reason, he took his shoes off, ripped his own shirt off, then a Mysterio shirt on, and he walked off all by himself as Judgment Day was seen laughing at ringside. Power Bubba says, what is 519? It's a joke because Edge didn't get all of the 619, so they're like, oh, we'll call it a 519. Yeah, Kid Vicious. That's basically Dominic turning heel. Now, as far as if he's going to join Judgment Day, that we're unsure of. They then announced that 62,296 fans were in attendance for tonight's show. And a lot of people go, well, that's an inflated number. It might be, but I don't think it's that inflated. Usually they inflate by like 10, 12, 15,000. I don't think it's inflated that much. The thing is the show was set up for over 60,000. As of this morning, there was less than 400 tickets available. So if they inflated that number, it was only maybe by a couple thousand. So I believe that could be close to the actual number. I don't think they did under 60,000. Hence why we saw such a small, non-existent stage, because they wanted as many seats available as possible. You put a big-ass stage in there, you're going to lose 10,000 seats maybe. So next up, we had a 17-minute, 20-ish second match. Seth Rollins, Matthew Riddle. This match was great other than the botch where they fell off the ropes. So Matt Riddle got his first name back, got a huge pop from the crowd, but so did Seth, because the crowd kept singing his song throughout most of this match. They're, oh, and like, damn. Rollins, Riddle charges right at Rollins as soon as the bell rings. They trade some shots in the corner, and Riddle got in the referee's face. Riddle then got a triangle on Rollins, but they both fell over the top rope. Rollins then took over with a suicide dive. Rollins was in control and then got in the referee's face himself. The ref was trying to tell him what to do. Riddle then fought back and climbed to the top rope. Rollins cut him off and went for a reverse suplex. Somehow, they were going for this reverse suplex. Seth lost his grip. He slipped. He jumped down, put Riddle in the tree of woe. Then he stomped them, and then they did a regular superplex later. They're on the top rope. Seth goes for the superplex. He goes to roll through it for the Falcon Arrow, but Riddle counters. He do a Fisherman's Buster for a near fall. Riddle hit the floating bro off the second rope to the floor, and Rollins went for the pedigree, but Riddle escaped. Riddle countered into a bro to sleep, into a power bomb, into a jumping knee, and got a 2 off of it. Thank you to Rosario for the Tier 1 subscription on Twitch. Really do appreciate that. Riddle then went for the floating bro, but Rollins got his knees up. Riddle avoided the stomp and locked on the triangle. Rollins broke free and hit Riddle's bro Derek, but only got a near fall. Riddle avoided a Phoenix Splash at one point and hit a Pele kick. Riddle jumped to his feet, but Rollins rocked him with a forearm. Rollins then hit the pedigree for a very, very close near fall. Riddle kept doing this thing where he'd be laying on his back and he wouldn't like kick out. You know, he would just like his arms would be, I don't know how to show it. Like arms flat on the mat and he'd just go. And he'd be flat on the mat. He did it 2 or 3 times. He's flat on the mat and then would just barely like with the shoulder. That's it. Arms didn't move, no nothing. Just shoulder. Break the kick out basically. Not like a kick the legs or the kick out. No, it was just a shoulder. Showing how wrecked he was basically. Rollins at one point then screamed at Riddle that he's a loser. He said, your wife knows you're a loser. All these people here know you're a loser, and your kids will soon know that you're a loser too. Riddle snapped and attacked Rollins to take the advantage. You hear Randy Orton's he snapped, got thrown out of the ring. When he jumped back in the ring, he got kicked, so he's draped over the ropes, where Rollins hit Randy Orton's draping DDT to a chorus of boos. And then the fans just started singing his song again. Really, really, really weird. But Rollins then set it for the RKO, but Riddle locked in a sleeper hold. The fans broke into a "This is awesome" chant. Riddle then grabbed a chair, but Rollins avoided the chair shot. Rollins then hit the stomp for a near fall as Riddle got into the ring. Rollins then hit another stomp off the second turnbuckle and picked up the victory. Seth beats Riddle. Or should I say, Seth beats Matt. Earlier today, they showed Roman Reigns hanging out with Tyson Fury in the locker room. Really weird. Which side are you on, Fury? You friends with Drew? Roman. He shook Roman's hand after the match, too, which again was very weird. Very weird. They then let us know again, hey, Tyson Fury, he's sitting at ringside. Who else is sitting at ringside? The Doomwalker, Karrion Kross, and what did they call her? The Siren of Sin, Scarlet. They didn't use the nicknames today, but that's what they called him on SmackDown. We then got a Roman Reigns McIntyre video package before we got a just short of 31-minute amazing match. This match was awesome. Awesome. Give me 1 second. My kids are trying to call me. I'm going to tell them that I'm live, and I'll call them as soon as I'm done. Give me 1 quick second. Soon as I am done. Whoop, whoop. My son had his first football game of the season, so they're probably calling to tell me how that went. Yes. I had to miss my son's first football game of the season. Very sad I had to miss it, but he'll have plenty more. This is like his 5th year playing, so 5th year playing league tackle football, so anyways, this match, awesome. Loved it. Thought it couldn't have been much better, to be completely honest. So, before Drew comes out to the ring, Broken Dreams starts playing. And we got a video package similar to his old Titantron video they had back in the day, but Broken Dreams played. And I'm like, oh no, is that foreshadowing? And halfway through this show, I get a message from a source that goes, Roman is going to be solo. And I'm like, Roman's going to be, oh, I know what you mean. And I'm like, Sokoa? And they're like, they said, you broke my riddle. And so I sent a tweet out when Roman comes out by himself saying Roman came out solo. Didn't say Roman came out by himself, any of that. That's why I said it like that in my tweet. Roman came out solo, because as we saw later, Solo Sikoa. We'll get to that. Anyways, so McIntyre gives himself the early advantage by pushing Reigns into the corner after they're locked up. Reigns tries a shoulder tackle, but it didn't move McIntyre. Reigns was shocked and rolled out of the ring to get his composure. Reigns was briefly in control here coming up, but McIntyre fought back and didn't let Reigns keep much control. He sent Reigns outside with a hard clothesline. McIntyre then tossed Reigns into the steel steps. Karrion Kross then distracted McIntyre at ringside from the crowd. Reigns took advantage here and blindsided McIntyre. Reigns grabbed a mic and demanded everyone here in Cardiff acknowledge me, which that plays into the press conference later we'll talk about as well. They erupted in boos. As Reigns turned around, McIntyre rocked him with a sick-looking Glasgow kiss. McIntyre and Reigns then traded shots in the middle of the ring as the fans did the yeah boo spot. Yeah, boo, yeah, boo, yeah, boo. McIntyre then ran wild and hit a belly-to-belly suplex and a neck breaker. He then kipped up, and the fans lost their shit when he did a kip up. McIntyre then hit a spine buster and a clothesline for a near fall. Reigns then fought back and hit the rock bottom for a near fall of his own. Reigns went for the Superman punch, but McIntyre reversed it into a Future Shock DDT. McIntyre then went for the Claymore, but Reigns hit his Superman punch and got a near fall off of it. Reigns then went for a spear, but McIntyre kicked him in the face. Reigns recovered and hit a spear for a very close 2. Reigns locked on the guillotine submission, but McIntyre did eventually break free. Reigns, why did I say Rollins? I don't even fucking know. Reigns rolled to the floor. McIntyre went after him and speared him through the barricade. Back in the ring, McIntyre went for the Claymore, but Reigns hit a spear for a very, very close near fall. The fans were cheering and going crazy like they thought that was the finish. Oh my God, he's going to beat him with his own move. Reigns was so furious, he yelled at referee Charles Robinson. McIntyre then hit the Claymore, and Reigns bumped into Charles Robinson, knocking the ref out. Suddenly we hear, A-Town, down. And Austin Theory runs out. He runs down to go hand in his briefcase when all of a sudden Tyson Fury cocks cold cocks Theory, knocks out Austin. He never cashes in the briefcase. I thought it was a clever way to prevent the cash in. You tease the cash in, then you prevent it with Tyson Fury. Cool. In the ring, Reigns went to hit McIntyre with a chair. McIntyre avoided it and hit a Claymore for a close near fall. Fans thought that was the finish as well. McIntyre and Reigns then traded hard shots in the middle of the ring. McIntyre took out Reigns with a spear and hit the Claymore. McIntyre had the match won when somebody all in black would end up pulling the referee out of the ring. We were then seeing the reveal of Solo Sikoa, another member of the Bloodline and the younger brother of Jimmy and Jey Uso. McIntyre would then get in Sikoa's face as he jumped up on the apron. Sikoa hung McIntyre on the top rope as Roman hit him with a spear. Charles Robinson slid in, counted the 1, 2, 3, and Roman Reigns successfully retained the title. Fans booed big. Tyson Fury gets in the ring, shakes Roman's hand. The fans boo again. Reigns and Solo Sikoa then walk off together to loud boos as Fury helps McIntyre to his feet, and the fans cheer. Fury grabbed the mic and praised Drew McIntyre. He told him to be proud because you almost won that title. You should be the champion. Fury then sang American Pie. He and Drew sang a little bit together. The crowd sang along as well. And then McIntyre's like, I'm disappointed, but I'll win that title someday. McIntyre was like, Sweet Caroline? You want to sing Sweet Caroline? And Fury's like, no, you do it. He's like, I only know the chorus. Sweet Caroline. And he goes, are we still on the air, by the way? Anyways, bum, bum, bum. And that's how the show goes off the air with Drew McIntyre celebrating a loss with Tyson Fury. I didn't like the whole celebrating the thing afterwards. It's like, you just fucking got your ass beat. You should already be thinking about not, screw it, I lost, let's celebrate. You should be thinking of, how do I get back to this spot? I know I'm not going to get the next shot, probably, maybe. I don't know. How do I get back to this spot? How do I get back to challenging for the belt? That's what you think about. But regardless, overall, a great show. Afterwards, WWE had a press conference. Press conference was moderated, basically, by Byron Saxton. And Byron Saxton says, I want to, what do you say? I want to say thank you for everybody joining us here at the Clash at the Castle press conference. Let me now introduce the man that made this all possible, Paul. And I'm thinking, Heyman? Triple H. Oh, they're going real name. Levesque. Triple H comes out and he just reads off of like a little sheet they probably gave him with buzzwords. Well, not really buzzwords, but things to say like, I need to thank this person. I need to thank these people. And I need to thank this organization. And we had 62,296 people there and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. And then Byron goes, all right. Now the first person to come out and ask field questions, a man that left with hardware tonight. You see it on the table. WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And so Roman Reigns makes his way out, sits down, and no one says anything for a second. Like, they don't know what to do. And Triple H is just like, I bet it, guys. Ask him questions. So someone asked him a question. I can't remember who it was. And Roman just sits there because they're like, you've had all these big matches in your career and this and that. What did it feel like to be out there in front of that crowd in this stadium, this and that, and da-da-da? And Roman's sitting there going, he stands up and he goes, you should do what all them people out there didn't do. Acknowledge me. And the reporter guy was like, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you. Grabs one belt, grabs the second belt, and he just walks off. Everyone kind of just laughs. Triple H is like, well, we're done with Roman. What's next? So they bring out Liv Morgan. They bring out Gunther, and they bring out Seth Rollins. They just ask them basic questions, but they let the fans ask them questions, and I guess basically it was the wrestlers were allowed to either answer the questions in or out of character, which was really cool. Roman 100% stayed in character. 100% stayed in character. But Seth was in character a little bit. Liv and Gunther, not in character. So I really enjoyed the press conference that they did. So they answered some questions, you know, what is it like being here? How do you guys balance doing all your community stuff along with then having to change things up, being in character and having to wrestle in front of the crowd and this and that, and da-da-da-da. And then someone said something to Gunther about Seth's bad jacket or whatever. He goes, what, you're trying to say that I'm neglecting things and da-da-da, and I'm only just trying to be silly? It was weird. Then they finished their questions. They get like 4 or 5 minutes, if that. And then out comes Drew, Tyson Fury. Drew answers a few questions, and they asked Tyson Fury some questions. Where basically we're trying to get non-WWE answers out of Tyson Fury because they asked him about his next boxing fight or match, whatever you want to call it. Like, you going to fight Ulysses? I think that's what his name is. And he's like, well, I was going to fight him at the end of the year, but now he's being a chicken and doesn't want to fight me until next year. So next week, I'll be announcing my next fight. So Tyson Fury did state that next week he will be announcing his next fight. He's just looking for whatever country will host it. Basically, what country is going to pay me to come do a fight? Triple H answered some more questions. They talked to him about, you know, well, they asked Tyson Fury about joining WWE full time, and he's like, well, right now I'm busy. I've got a number of fights that I'm obligated to do over the next couple of years. And I go, wait, I thought this guy retired. I guess not. So then they talked to Triple H, and they talked to Triple H about celebrities coming into WWE. And he goes, we've had some celebrities that have really killed it and really put in the work, like Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, and Pat McAfee. He's like, when Bad Bunny came in to do WrestleMania and stuff, he basically got himself a house in Orlando just so he can go to the PC every day to train. He's like, there was one day when I was at the PC and they're like, Bad Bunny's in the other room if you want to go say hi. He's like, I walked in there and Bad Bunny had been training so hard, he's dripping sweat. He's like, and Logan Paul does not get as good as he is just jumping in there. He put in the work to train. And other guys too, like Pat McAfee and so forth. Like, we're not going to just hedge our bets on just a name or a celebrity. We want people that are going to come in here and actually put in the work to actually put on good matches. And he answers a couple more questions, and then he says, I actually have a call with Bad Bunny coming up really, really soon. We talk about his availability and when he can do something with us again next. So Triple H is very excited to be getting Bad Bunny back. And he says he's got a call with him very soon to see when they can schedule Bad Bunny's next match or appearance or whatever. So that's really cool. And then I think that was basically all the notes and hits and stuff from the press conference. But with that, guys, that was WWE Clash at the Castle. But now I want to hear from you guys. You can either text or call in. We're taking your calls if you want. 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. We'll take your texts or your calls. Or as you letting us know what you thought of WWE Clash at the Castle. But before that, while we wait for calls to come in or more text messages, we got a couple. Check the polls. First poll here says, so we got the Twitch poll. What do you guys think of Clash at the Castle? 86% liked it. 14% thought it was just all right. Or as the Twitter poll does go, 82% liked the show. 11% thought it was just all right. And 5% did not like Clash at the Castle. And finally, the YouTube poll. YouTube. Why is it not loading? Let's refresh that. 82% like Clash of the Castle, 14% thought it was just all right, and 5% did not like the show. As far as the text messages do go, person says, well, when someone sends me a text that goes, I've seen a report, I like to read those first and not read them out loud, because sometimes they're bogus reports from people. Like, there's been a couple of them showing up online recently. They like to just throw shit at the wall that's true or not true, and then they sometimes get lucky. This one says, I haven't seen this report, so I'm not even going to answer it. Also, this person says Drew should have won, but I'm not going to answer the first half of their question because I haven't heard this report at all, so I have no knowledge of it, and I'm not going to read anything that I haven't even heard. So just a forewarning. If you guys send me a report, I saw this report, link it so then I can go check it. Because I'm not going to read something that I've never heard of or saw anybody else report. I don't know where you got this report from. WrestlingNews.123. I don't fucking know. I don't even know if that's a real site. This person says, is this how you would have expected Solo Sikoa to debut? Also, do you know where Worlds Collide is taking place? Well, yeah, the PC tomorrow. Worlds Collide. And also, Solo Sikoa is a great way to debut him. Because you immediately say, hey, he's in the bloodline. What other way could you have debuted him? I think this was actually a tremendous way to debut Solo Sikoa. You immediately put him in the main, the top spot, or in a top spot, and we see where he goes from here. I don't know how they're going to use him going forward, but I thought it was a great way to introduce him on the main roster. Says, you think EC3 comes back to WWE? I don't know. Triple H liked him, but I think he's said and done some things since leaving or getting released that they may want to shy away from. Person said, whoa. Okay, hold on. Before I read that, I want to double check it myself. Match announced for Raw? Big match announced for Raw. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm not going to read. Yeah, see, I don't see that. Hence why sometimes I don't just randomly read text messages. Oh, found it. Got it. Miz versus Bobby Lashley in a cage match Monday for the U.S. title. Woo-ha! Next text message. Glad Dominic betrayed Ray so he can make a name for himself. Yeah, sure. Person here. Ray must be about to retire because he said last year, I believe, the last thing he wanted before he retires was to have a match with Dom. I mean, you could have the match with Dom and not retire. He doesn't have to retire just to have the match with Dom. It says I hope Hunter makes Sheamus and Gunther, not Walter, a best of 7. Otherwise, I don't understand why have him and Drew lose on the same night. What? Oh, I get what this is fantasy booking to the wrong degree. Any updates on the Fiend coming back? Nope. Nope. Fightful said they may have something, but they called it a left field report. And I'm like, yeah, left field means I'm just going to throw shit at the wall unconfirmed. But with that, guys, that's everything for Clash at the Castle. We will be back tomorrow. We got Worlds Collide, and we've got WWE or AEW All Out. I don't think I'm going to be doing a Worlds Collide review right after Worlds Collide. I'm going to figure out how to do that because I have stuff going on in the morning. I am going to be able to watch Worlds Collide. But we will be doing a review immediately after All Out. That's for sure. So we'll see how it all does go tomorrow. And then Monday, I got a busy Monday as well. I got non-wrestling work stuff to do because I am basically helping a local like Halloween venue with their production. So I'm doing video and photography work for them. We got to meet with them Monday morning. So yeah, picking up some more non-YouTube work. But it all builds the portfolio. It's all fun stuff. Keeps me busy. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you next time. Have a good one, guys.